Hello everyone, Hugsy Arts here. Back with something different today. I'm going to be doing a live caricature draw of my niece Lily. So as you can see in the inset picture, this is the reference picture I'm going to be working from, and that's Lily. So I'm going to be trying to exaggerate certain things because we don't want it to look too samey. It gets a bit boring. I've got a few tools with me. So I'm going to be using just my normal ivory black pencil. You will get caricaturists out there who will just go straight ink to paper, but they can end up deformed sometimes. You know, it'll still look good because they're so experienced, but they can sometimes end up a little bit deformed. So this pencil just stops that, and it's just worth the few seconds it takes to just sketch in the outlay of where you're going to be drawing. I got some Neocolor, is this a 1 or a 2? Neocolor 1 pastels, which I'm just going to be using to put a bit of shading in at the end. I've got my own marker which I created. I'm using Copic black permanent ink, which is sort of pigment alcohol. I'm not sure if it's alcohol based actually, but it's permanent and it's renowned as being one of the best inks, in a crayola casing. So I got the crayola nib, and yeah, these are pretty popular amongst characterists these days. And I'll be using my little, that's the wrong one actually, that's the brush one. I've got my other one somewhere, hang on. Here it is. So same sort of pen. It's my graphic 1 Pigma pen, which is archival ink, so it lasts forever and ever. Waterproof, the works. It's just a bit thinner than my main marker. May use a bit of that on the hair, may not. But yeah, I'm not going to be colouring the piece in as such. I'm just going to be adding a bit of colour to it and a bit of form where the shading would be, you know, just to make it a more attractive drawing. Anyway, that's enough rabble. Let's get stuck in. So I just want to first lay out where I want her features and her head to sit. Obviously if I just started straight in with marker, I could go too big, too small. 2 seconds this takes and I know it'll be right. So I'm just gonna start off with a basic head shape. That's the top of her head. So she's got a very thin face, so I'm gonna be trying to grab that sort of shape straight from the bat. Yeah, I mean the main reason I like to just do this little pre-sketch of the head anatomy is you can sometimes get a bit lost when it comes to the head and they can end up looking a bit funny. You look at characters that you've seen on the internet, on Instagram and stuff, and you know, yeah, it's all very well drawn, but sometimes their heads, they look a bit shot. So just by doing this, I'm going to be giving myself, I'm going to be avoiding that. Centre line is obviously the centre of her head, and the direction she's looking, she's sort of slightly at a 3/4 view, looking over here, and it's the top of her head, so that's the bottom of her face. In the middle, this applies for everybody when you're drawing faces, bang in the middle is going to be the eyes. Sometimes it's a perception when you see people, novices start to draw faces, they do the eyes too high. They sort of just assume the eyes are up here, you know, and they're not, they're actually down in the middle, and this is cranium. So I'm just gonna trace, and even more so when you're going for a cutesy look, when you're doing children or young people, you want even more cutesy look, so you've got to lower this line so the heads are bigger and they got that small thing. Hope the camera's not wobbling up there, hard to tell. It looks like it's wobbling. Let me see if I can fix that. A sec, I'll come straight back. It's still wobbling. I can't seem to stop it at the moment, so I'm just going to crack on and continue with my initial sort of loose sketch, just so I know where the features are. So I'm just going to start off. I'm going to do some eyes. One about there. One about there. I'm going to exaggerate slightly, so we're going to have bigger eyes. This centre line, so we want this distance to here to be the same there to there, and then we know our eyes are in the right place, the right position. A little trick for you. It's not the be all and end all of where my final markings will be. This is just a guide, just so it looks human. Just giving myself a bit of a head start, that's all. So eyebrows, I work my way up from the inner corner of the eye, and then I look at the picture and see how far in and how high I'm going with the eyebrows. So we see we're not going too high, so we're just going about there, and we're going to be coming in quite thick eyebrows, which seems to be the fashion now these days. There's one, and again on this one I'm going to be just coming in slightly. I don't always take this much care when I'm doing a pre-sketch. Just want to show you the importance of it. You can't really go wrong once you've got your pre-sketch in. So the nose I'm going to sort of just pop about here. Just a tiny sort of little nose. So, and the mouth, I'm going to go in, down, and in, and we're going to dark, the bits I'm rounding off and making a bit darker, they're the bits we're going to be darkening most when it comes to marking. And we just put lips there. Like so. I'm going to do a little chin just to try and keep the youthful vibe going. It's got a bit of a squared off chin, so I'm just going to do a tiny little squared off chin there, and then I'm going to just swoop up. Roundness at the bottom of the chin sort of resembles a youthful appearance, so just bear that in mind too. If you start giving too much shape, you can age them instantly. Around there like that. And we're just going to do a bit of an ear. I'm probably not going to draw the ears, they're going to be covered in hair, but that's where they'll be. Right, so the hairline's probably going to start about there, and the hair's going to be just coming. She's got a strand coming down, and it's sort of pushed back there into a bun. It's all going back there into a big bun, which we got a bit of room for at the top. I like to do long, thin necks on my characters to make them look a bit more funny. Don't want them to look too boring. can have a bit of a night tick by there, only we're going to put it the right way because obviously hers was a selfie. So it's back to front. Bring this long mop of hair down. Alright, yeah, that's plenty. I'm not sure what the time is, how long that took. I don't usually go that much into it, but I've now got the foundations to just go in with my marker. I'm going to go in with my little smaller marker first, the Graphic One Pigma. It's a Sakura brand. These are pretty good. And I'm just going to round off all the fine details. So you can see that already that our mouth's a little bit off. It needs to come this way a bit. Just gonna, I'll leave the eyebrows a minute. So eyelid, just got a bit of rubbish on this end of this pen. And get rid of that. I'm gonna swoop around for that eye and trying to match these up, quite important, following my line and about there. I'm gonna swoop around for that one. I'm gonna be going over that a bit later with my proper pen, and then I'm gonna just a line there and a line there. Okay, eyes. She's got quite bright eyes, so looking at the negative space, which is the white part of the eye, they're sort of coming from the top, aren't they? So let me just do her eyelids a minute. And how's that? She's sort of a oh god sort of attitude. That's going to be a highlight. That's going to be a highlight. That's going to be her pupil, and that. This top bit's all going to be in shade or shadow. I'm just gonna start on the eyelashes. So I'm gonna go a little bit mad. Look at that smudge. I'm gonna go a little bit mad because why not? And I'm also going to continue this even though I've smudged it, which has potentially ruined it. Right, okay. I'm going to do the neck with the same thin pen, which is causing me so much grief. Bubble there. Right, let's move on to the main pen. Oh, that stupid thing, which is my pen, which I made. I want to go really thick at the bottom of the face. I'm going to go super thick with the eyebrows. And we're going to take that hair up where it is, and we're going to also go thick with some parts of this hair. This here is sort of all following the same path, so all being tied up. So I'm just going to try and follow that direction. You can see now the pencil lines come in so handy. And it's quite important when you're doing cartoons to try and vary line thickness. It's a bit smudged. I'm just going to add a little something in the corner there. Well, that's a decent little pre-sketch there now. We've inked it. Let's just put some form in there. Maybe I could add a bit to this nose. Little line by here. Just a bit of a smile. And I'm just going to add some colour. Just for where the shadows would go, just to make it look more attractive. Obviously I won't be giving this one to her because I've messed it up, but I'll continue anyway. Pink eyes. I've never had that ink do that to me before. Must be bunking up. Bit of shadow for the clothing. Just something else to look at more than anything. Just add a little put that night tick in. Purely for detail. And I'm just going to add some extra hairs. Not a fan of that bit of hair I did there, but there you go. I'm just going to add even more. we go, guys. That's about it, really. All that's left to do is sign it. Maybe put a name up if you want to. Let's do mix it up. Put a bit of this really around her cheeks, couldn't I? Just under there for a bit of blush. No drama. That's about it. Didn't take too long. I'm just going to go ahead now and screw that up and start again. Thanks for watching.